Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your yearly career and life purpose reading. So I'm really excited to be reading for you all again. So this reading, it's going to be a mix of different cards. So I've already shuffled them. And I'm just going to pull one by one out for you and get to focus. So this is messages regarding what messages you'll get for work or career matters this year, and as well as life purpose. And keep in mind, guys, whatever you're doing for a work or a hobby or whatever it is you're doing in your life, you don't necessarily need to be getting paid for your life's work sometimes, okay? So a good example is, maybe you're meant to be a mom and taking care of nurturing children all your life, okay? So, and other people, they get paid for that by babysitting for others, right? So it doesn't really matter, whether you get paid or not. Whatever you came here to do, if you're meant to do it, you're going to do it. I strongly believe that. So just be open when you see these cards, because it's different for everybody, okay? So we'll start from the first one. Okay, so actually, I'd like to go one by one, but I was really called to show you all of them. Maybe it's for a specific person out there, but I'm strongly feeling the sense that someone's guided, or maybe a few of you is guided to go into teaching this year, because all of your cards came out, revolving around school setting. Okay, so that's really interesting how they all came up like that, because usually I get a lot of mixed messages in the career cards, but this is very strongly linked to education in some way. Okay, so either you're going to uncover some education for yourself, or maybe new information that's going to make you go eureka, or you're going to have an aha moment. There's some sort of personal growth for sure happening, but I feel like overall in money, it's going to be a year of learning lessons and big time personal growth. That's just what I felt for you. You're going to come out like graduated, whether it's in a spiritual sense or you're actually in school. Okay. So this says the answer that you're seeking involves going to school. So maybe some of you have been thinking that you might need to update and refresh in your skills. Maybe you're in a certain field that maybe it's growing or it's changing, and you say, in order for me to keep going in this field, I have to maybe up the computer skills or update in the way I communicate with clients or something, right? But this doesn't have to be long term. This could just be taking, spring or summer classes, or winter classes. Maybe you're going back for 6 months to get a certificate. Maybe you're thinking of actually upgrading your education. Maybe you have a bachelor's and you want to go for your master's. Maybe you have a master's and you're like, you know what, I think I want to go for a doctor's. Okay, so you're really increasing your learning and your education. Okay. With the teaching card, I feel like you might be called to work in education or some sort of organization that promotes education, even. So, like a nonprofit, maybe a charity helping children in some way, maybe even working abroad. Okay, so uh, don't also take into consideration, be open and see other possibilities as well. Okay, but yeah, you're going to learn something very deeply here, okay? And we also learn when we teach as well. So, this is either saying to get involved in workshops, maybe teach workshops, go into seminars, anything that will expand your learning, okay? So you might be going to school or, teaching in school, right? So here's the card, teaching. So it says here, you inspire young people to learn. So I don't want to repeat myself too much, but again, like teaching here, and these might be little children. This is the other thing I want to point out. But you could even be teaching adults, okay, or even seniors. So again, this could just be symbolic in like the fresh or beginning stages of learning. Um, so, you see children here, but maybe whatever it is you're teaching, it's something completely new to the crowd or the public. You're teaching this information and they have no idea. So they're at the beginning stages, right? So consider that as well. So if you're like, oh, geez, I don't want to have anything to do with like teaching children, maybe it's something with adults or seniors that you're meant to help in some way, okay? But I feel like also your experiences, something you've been through or you're meant to go through in money, you're gonna have, you see the butterfly here, you're gonna go through a big transformation period here, okay? So any opportunity involving, your relationships, your family, your friendships, you're gonna feel like a different person. I strongly feel in one, okay? So lots of growth that's going to be happening for you. All right, let's see here now. Okay, so let me just bring it closer. Yeah, so you have books. Okay, so that ties into it. I am seeing also librarian for someone. So you connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. Okay, so maybe you're working, but you're interested on the side in some subject. Maybe you're thinking to start something as a hobby or part time. Okay, so I could see one or a few of you, you're going to the library often. Maybe you're reading and you're trying to learn as much information as possible regarding a certain subject that you're interested in. All right, so it could be that as well. But I also feel like, usually when a book is closed, it symbolizes hidden or secret information. But when you see it open here, this is what I'm getting is you might actually be exposed to some information this year that was hidden. And maybe it's been a long time coming, right? And you kind of come to the truth of the matter, and it solves a lot of the questions you've been asking. So that's the other thing I've been getting here too. Yeah, I do feel too, whatever it is you're learning, if you're really passionate about it, and I do feel it's like abundance focus, like you are planning to make money from this, like doing something after. I see a few not just learning for leisure or just reading for leisure, but there is abundance around this. Okay, so you could see the color of her dress here. So I am feeling whatever it is that you're learning, you're going to apply it and it will bring you more prosperity and money. Okay, so don't give up. If you're called to learn about some subject, this is going to bring you a lot of rewards. That's what I'm getting here. Okay, so I know it's very limited. Sorry, guys. It's like that's what came out. So maybe it's not meant for like everyone. Everyone has different careers, but whatever you get from the card, from each card, I hope you got something. They were just really directed to career path for teaching, yeah, or just education of some sort. All right, so here is a little bit of a balance. So let's see here. These are the skills that you're meant to use in money. And one of them popped up. I only was supposed to pull out three, but I pulled out a fourth. And I found that I wanted to use this because Scorpio, you're really good at this. So analyzing information. And this too, you could be actually in an area like law, right? Legal fields, anywhere where it involves a lot of reading. Maybe some of you are studying something in law or social justice, but something that requires a lot, you need to know a lot of the rules and regulations. All right. So actually, a lot of you would be very good at that. So maybe you're dealing with cases. Maybe some of you are dealing with analyzing numbers, putting the pieces to the puzzle together. Here it is. Maybe I saw that, I'm not sure, but it just came out and then I'm like, I think that's in there. So there's your other skill you're going to be using, putting pieces to the puzzle together. Some of you be good like CIA or like agents of some sort, like uncovering, the mystery to something or loss prevention, even working in like a retail setting. I feel like you're really good at dissecting information. So really use that energy towards your work environment, okay? because I feel like if you don't use this in your work environment, if you don't execute these skills, I feel like some of you will be doing that in your personal relationships, and that might create a lot of like chaos. Okay, so where you won't need to do that. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, but I've been called to say that. So if you've been trying to analyze too much of like a specific person in your life and trying to kind of follow each of their moves, like what they're doing, you're putting your energy in the wrong direction and you're not focusing back on you. So you're losing power if you're doing that. If this has to do with like a love situation, okay, so be very careful where you put these energies, because if you're a thinky type and you like to analyze, make sure you're using those analytical skills in good use, because this could drive you crazy in your personal relationships. Okay, so I hope that could help someone that's watching this. All right. Um, yeah, so yeah, that was pretty important there. Okay, so doing the numbers. Um, Doing the numbers, yeah. So again, maybe you're analyzing numbers, you're looking at receipts, maybe taxes, tax forms, anything. I mean, the world revolves around like numbers, right? Everything, anything could be a number. People could be numbers, right? But there's something where there's like a lot of numbers involved, or you're calculating something. Maybe you're meeting budgets. Okay, so maybe some of you are in events or something like that. But it could be like something mathematical, like in IT, or something where it involves breaking down information on the computer and just analyzing patterns and trends. Okay, that could be found in sales as well. All right. So yeah, whatever it is you get from these cards, because use your own intuition as well. I don't know every career that exists out there, but if you feel like something popped up in your mind, feel free to write it down in the comments section. But this will apply to each person differently. Okay, you'll translate this differently. That makes sense for you. Okay, and maybe not all of them will connect to you. Maybe it's just analyzing information. For some, it could be working with numbers. Okay, and that rings a bell. All right, so I'm just the messenger giving them out here. Okay, okay, so these are the cards like related around work. So what would be some of the keywords this year regarding work? If you're interested in this deck, it's a workplace card deck that I've created. It's on Etsy page. Okay, so we have here vacation. All right. So I do feel a lot of you might want to take a little break or a vacation. Maybe you've been overworking yourself studying. And maybe you are in school. It's been a long time, like 3 years. So maybe it's time, when you finish an exam, or maybe when you graduate this year, maybe it's time to think about taking a little vacation before you start into the grind again. All right, so I feel like some of you that may be workaholics, working around the clock. This is asking for you to take a little break, even if it's shutting your social media, completely unplugging for a weekend, anything like that, as best as you can. Take a little break, okay? Go to your favorite sacred spot near a lake or by a tree, whatever it is that you do. Even if you just sit with your favorite cup of goodness that you love, tea, coffee, and just have a moment by yourself. It'll make all the difference. All right, make a list. Yeah, you would be very successful this year for a lot of you by making lists. I feel like maybe there's a lot floating around in your work environment. And I feel like, the only thing to get organized is to first get it out of your brain and take out a piece of paper and start making a list of your daily tasks so you can meet the daily goal and also your weekly goals at the end of the week, and then the monthly goal, right? So, and if you have a lot of ideas for those in communications, creative fields, make a list of all the ideas you have and see what you want to run with this month or possibly in the year, and say, you know what, out of these ideas that I have, I'm going to pick these two, or maybe this one that I'm going to just focus on for this year to see if it brings you abundance, okay? And whatever it is that you're going through, for those that are worrying or fearful, or maybe feel this is going to be your life forever. I could hear some of you saying, oh gosh, life sucks. It's going to be like this forever. I'm doomed. Okay, you're not doomed. This is just another phase that you're going through. My ears are ringing right now. But yeah, this is just another phase that you're going through. It's just temporary. Whatever it is you're experiencing, you'll get an answer again soon. I'm hearing 6 months. You'll have like a new solution to whatever it is that you're worrying about. Okay, so I'm also seeing, maybe for some of you it would be beneficial to maybe work with temporary or contract jobs. I feel like maybe that would give you happiness if you're juggling two jobs. Maybe you're trying to, make a hobby work and bring more abundance for that hobby, but you're working full time. So maybe some of you have been thinking to maybe just work part time or contract work or something, but I do feel something's going to be temporary and not really for the long haul. So if this is something you're scared about, it's saying don't worry about that, okay? Not everything is permanent, all right? All right, so your abundance message, guys, for me. This is so how you can increase more prosperity and abundance in your life. So this is from the Abundance Angels, and you have visualize abundance in all forms. So you have a strong mind. You're very analytical. Take all these skills and put the picture of what you want to see happen in your mind and how you want to move forward. Okay, so visualize your abundance. So I'm not saying, the way abundance work, it's not like picturing $1 million on a check and putting that $1 million check in your mind. Okay, maybe for like that, and it might work, but the universe works with feelings and what brings you emotional happiness. So there's obviously a reason why you want, let's say, for example, an extra thousand or thousand. Like, what are you planning to do with that, right? There's something you want to achieve that'll bring you some desire you have or happiness, right? For example, right? Like, let's say you want a big screen TV in your home. It's not really the material thing that you want, it's the feeling it's going to bring you. And that feeling is to have more loving moments with your family, sitting around the TV, laughing, and just having a good time and creating good memories. So, what is it that you want to feel with whatever it is that you're looking for? How is it going to bring you that emotional happiness? So put that picture in your mind of the feeling and the thought. Okay. So God gave you great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. And you got to be careful too, because sometimes, if you keep putting fears in your mind, then you're also manifesting more, right? So you got to be very careful. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. Okay, so yeah, hold that positive image in your mind. People do this by creating, vision boards. They do this with looking at positive words in the morning of like abundance. So you could even draw. Okay, there's also something called mind mapping. You could draw the future you visualize or whatever goal. Maybe in a year you have a certain picture of your life. Okay, but once you put it in your mind and keep it there, stay focused that it is manifesting, it's actually happening, then you create miracles. And trust me, I've seen it happen in my own life. It's pretty creepy, actually. Certain things that I've written down, I open notes like 3 years, 2 years like later, and I'm like, oh wow, I actually achieved that, and I forgot about when I wrote it. So this is your Sacred Traveler's card oracle message, and you got Journey by the Moonlight. Okay, I love this deck. So believe in magic, you see. So this is tying in so nicely with, maybe if you feel like something's impossible, guys, you're going to experience like a miracle situation this year, and it's going to help you believe in magic again. And traveling by the moonlight, sometimes you might feel you're walking in complete darkness. Maybe for some of you, you don't know if what you're doing it's going to bring you the results you're seeking. Whether you're in school, you're like, oh, am I going to get that career? Is this going to be easy getting work after? Or is this project I'm working on, is this actually going to manifest? Am I going to get that recognition or whatever, right? Something that you're wondering, you feel like you're in the dark with, and you're kind of maybe have fears or confused about. You don't know what the future holds, so you're kind of walking walking blindly and just kind of going with your feeling. So this is here to reassure you that, you are on the right path, and you could see this fairy here just kind of watching you. And then there's more here. They're in the spirit world, right? Uh, but yeah, and I see the moon here, and it's also telling me you're very intuitive, you're very psychic. So follow that, trust yourself. You know what's right for you. Follow the light in the moonlight. There's never complete darkness out there, okay? There's always going to be that light reflecting from the moon as well, or from somewhere. Okay, so not all is lost, is what I want to tell you. If you've been experiencing challenges and you feel maybe there's like a darkness, or maybe a bit of sadness in your life, okay, so this is just a phase. But the full moon, too, what I'm seeing here is illumination. It's things coming up to the surface, whatever was hidden in your own psyche, in your own subconscious. Okay, I feel like you're going to go through your own self-discovery here, too. This doesn't have to be external learning, guys. It could just be because you have a lot of teaching and school, but life is a school too. So whoever you're meeting, whatever you've been experiencing, you're going to have an aha moment. And I said that in the beginning of the video too, where things are just going to connect and click, right? And all this stuff like analyzing information, it could be about discovering yourself and stepping into your own true power. So yeah, be prepared, guys. Something will come to the light this year. So very interesting stuff. Wow, honestly, I wish you all the best. I hope that made sense. So what I would advise to you is just follow your intuition this year. Learn as much as you can, absorb information, take in, and be an observer of life this year. This is what I'm feeling. And you have the power to empower and teach others as well. Okay, guys, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.